Hello and welcome back to some more Pale Beyond. And I'm back. Finally I'm back. And here I am on vacation. And without internet, I thought, well, the best way to make time pass is I could record some. So here I am recording. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how often I will be able to have time to record. As I've said multiple times before, I think it's going to be whenever I have time and energy to do it. So with that out of the way, let's see if we can remember where we were. Now, I did watch previous episode. Thankfully, I keep those episodes locally on my computer so I can actually watch them if I need to. And we have just started week 6. We have done some camp things where rummaging through our ship to get supplies and key items. And we haven't done all of the rooms where we can find these kind of things. So, I am not entirely sure. Let's take a look. Right. Mr. Gloss, I do need to remove the demoralized status on. No one else has a status at all. And I did a normal ration for food, and I did a half ration for fuel. Because I could get away with that. But it is a little bit colder this week than it was the previous week. And they are waiting for me here. Is there anything else? Don't think so. So, the meeting. Templeton, Kurt, Cordell, and Hammond stand inside. The beginnings of a meeting. Oh, Captain, it's been 3 weeks. Kurt tells me there's still no change in the ice. None. And best I can estimate, what change we will see won't free the ship. I predict the Temperance is more likely to be crushed under the pressure of the ice. And how long will that take? A few weeks at most. Unfortunately, we may have to look at alternatives rather than waiting for the ice to break up. Are you certain it's a lost cause, such as... I don't like the idea of leaving the ship, such as... There you go. And register me clicking. Leaving the Temperance and making camp on the ice is something we will have to consider. Aye. The longer we stay on this ship, the more fuel we're having to burn. Not to mention risking another boiler incident. Yes, that matter almost cost lives. Heating a smaller camp burns through much less oil. And without enough fuel to survive a winter, we're dead. Don't think I need to tell you that. I would not be quite so quick to pack up and move out just yet. And why is that? Ship is shelter. Ship is safety. Currently there are quite a few hunting opportunities presented to us. We will need to gather more food if we are to survive, and the ship provides a safe area to hunt from. Right, and most of the crew aren't ready to give up either. They're stubborn. Just as any good crew should be. I would rather not play into stubbornness when lives are on the line. He has a point. Crew thinks we gave up too early. They'll resent the captain for it. Though we now have a serious bloody flooding problem. We do. Hey, you might not have noticed if you'd left your damn forecastle. It is safer to take the time to gather what we need before we leave, rather than raid the ship once we make ice. Well, the answer lies with the captain. Should we move up ship this week? Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Not yet. I'm also not sure how, like, if it's available to like how accessible the ship is when it comes to entering and rummaging through storage and stuff. I'm not sure about that. But it is true, it's not urgent to move off just yet. At least I don't think so. So I will say not yet. We will remain on ship for now. I hate the like abbreviated sentence, like words and sentences. It's really annoying, especially if English or whatever language you're reading isn't your first language. In English, abbreviate a lot. Anyway, not yet. Very well. When we remove the boiler from the furnace, that is when we make our move. When you feel we're ready to go, just go to the boiler room and give the order. Right. So I think if I just quickly go down. Yeah, I can talk to Hammond to do it. To like, yeah, exactly. Abandon ship. Feed furnace. Yeah. Not going to do that right now. We are going to take a look at the rooster. Right. Before we do anything, and this is why I wanted to check this, to remind myself, do we have anyone that needs... I usually want to, especially when it's the start of the week if I have someone, especially if it's one who's demoralized, because someone who's demoralized can still be used for tasks, but they are still demoralized. So to actually fix them, we need to go to the journalist or the photographer, Kasha. And we need to assign a crew for an interview. And that will gain us a research and cure that person that gets interviewed of the demoralized trait. So it will get removed. Here we go. And we gain those 5 decorum back. But if I remember correctly, every week that someone is demoralized, you lose 5 decorum. So if you have someone who's demoralized for 2 weeks, you lose in total 10, but when you go to fix them, you only gain 5 back. So I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that, because I might be wrong, but I think that's how it works. They joined a photographer. So he's now doing that. That means he's occupied with that. So he can't be allocated to do any tasks, which is fine. We don't want him to drag down the group. Which, like, you need to be on top of this. Like, it's okay now to maybe, I'll wait a week. It's fine. Don't. From experience, I played it before I started recording a bit just to see how it plays. And don't wait to fix a problem. Fix it immediately. Okay, so we have Mr. Glass, we have Cordell, we have Tucker, Mr. Sack, and Grimly. Okay. Start from the left and work our way towards the right. So Mr. Glass, welcome in. Captain, we tried to use the radios to pick up any signals every evening for the past week. All right, this. Nothing, I take it. Afraid not. As we expected. I have to say though, I expected a worse reaction from the sailors. I suppose there's a relief in trying a method and knowing it to be unsuccessful. Now they can move on to the next venture with little reservation. Exactly. They are resourceful people, I must say. Well, I suppose anything that puts the crew's mind at ease is worth doing. Thank you, Mr. Glossley. Yeah. It's not always the best thing to do, but sometimes, especially in a situation that the game depicts, where like you're stuck and can't really go anywhere, you can't really, it's hard to like reason. Just let them waste some time and figure out that what you actually said was true from the beginning. Like, sometimes wasting a bit of time, if you can waste that time, is worth it down the line. Anyway, Cordell, welcome in. Captain, my dogs appear to be struggling in the on-deck kennels. They require a more secure form of shelter from the environment. Doglows, I believe they are called. Yes, I will require some hands to work on constructing them. It is for the health and safety of the pack. The dog. I put some of the crew to work on it. The dogs are secure enough. I'm afraid I cannot spare the hands. The dogs. No. Let's put some crew to work on it. Thank you. We must focus on keeping the dogs safe. Without them, the crew stands little chance of safety themselves. True. Anyway, Tucker, welcome in. The mast was damaged when the ship was being tossed a while back, Captain. Best get someone to fix it before the Temperance is freed. Freed? Hey. Ship could come loose any moment. Heading up to repair the mast is a dangerous task. We don't even know if this ship will sail if the ice clears. Would be worth it though. I agree it's worth the risk. Unnecessary, this ship isn't going anywhere soon. Someone could get injured. I'd rather avoid that. Oh, this is a difficult one because I'm not sure I want them to do it because I need the manpower to do other things. Dismissing it outright that's not a good way to do it. I'm not sure agreeing to it is the way to do it or the way to go. Someone could get injured. I'd rather avoid that. Yeah. Suit yourself then. Oh yeah, it's better to skirt around and in those situations. Because technically speaking it is unnecessary because we know that the ship is probably never going to get freed. But yeah. Mr. Zack. I was summoned by Mr. Templeton. Yes, Mr. Isaac. This is regarding your personal item. What do you mean? I felt it pertinent to let the captain know what you are that you are carrying a weapon. Excuse me? Okay, perhaps this is my unfamiliarity with expeditions, but I was surprised others did not bring an item to protect themselves. Yeah. Many of the crew cannot afford such an item to themselves. Captain, it is up to you on what to do with this revolver. With all due respect, this is my personal item, Captain. It is the captain's right to requisition any weapon on the ship. It includes your own. Right. Now, I happen to know what happens if I let him keep it. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say that I'm not going to allow him to keep it. So, question is, since you are free to hold on to it, Mr. Zack, be careful. Is it not an option? I wonder if I cannot allow a single person to hold on to a weapon, hand over the revolver, Mr. Sack, or that weapon will be more useful in the hands of Cadell for the hunts. Hmm. Now, I think the middle one, I cannot allow you to have it, so hand it over, Mr. Sack. Very well, Captain. I understand. We would do well to avoid creating an imbalance of power among the crew. I doubt the sailors would take too kindly to such a thing. Yeah, so now he is demoralized because we took... So, and the thing is, and this is important to know, that Kasia Belford, the photographer, she can only interview one a week. So, she's talking with Mr. Glass, so we're going to have to wait until next week for Mr. Zack. But Grimly, step on in. Sure. There's a rumor going around amongst the crew. They are saying the ship is haunted by the ghost of Captain Hunt. What a ridiculous tripe. Hey, thought you'd want to put a stop to it. Right. Absolutely, we can't allow rumors like that to run rampant. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the other options do, but they're just stories. I see no harm in them. These kind of stories can spiral out of control. Like, think about it. Gossip. How often is it that gossip causes mass, like, wreak mass damage for someone because someone cooks up a story that turns out is not true, but once the truth comes out, it's a bit too late to repair things because people's idea about what is right is contaminated by this gossip. So, stories or gossip can very much cause a lot of damage. Mostly because people are sheep, but anyway. I would best be on the lookout for Hunt's ghost then. Also, don't think joking about it, I don't think is necessarily what we want to do. The middle one is absolutely not. It's either the top one or the bottom one. We can't allow rumors like that to run rampant. Sure, let's go with that. Let's go a bit silly. Watch yourself, sure. Okay, that wasn't good. I'm almost want to redo that, but I'm not going to. We are going to live with it, and we shall finish. Head to the boiler when you wish to abandon ship. I suggest we do so sooner rather than later. Right. Now, I'm not going to do it this week. Now, we do want to do this, but I can't. Observe the effects of the summer melt. Research a pressure ridge. And yeah, the amount of the amount of scientists that you send out is the amount of research you gain and decorum, because the 3 decorum and 1 research is per person you send, because it says, as it says, for each scientist you assign. Bum, 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 bum. Hunting these are useless. So let's do this one. Confirm that. Gain 6 decorum, and we will gain 2 research. We have 1. We will have 3 in total. Let's do this one. Okay. Seemingly not the correct one. Oh, yes. The elephant seal, if I remember correctly, is one of the better ones. Large game is dangerous despite how many people are assigned. A person will be wounded. Okay. What? Can I... Oh, I have too few dogs. Okay. Well, at least I have found something to hunt, so... Okay. Too few dogs. Okay, let's go down. And go in here. Crate of spoiled rations. I don't think I should pick up much more in terms of these, because they cause malnutrition, which is bad. They also don't give that much food. This one is locked, locked, locked. These I will make sure to have as many of as I can get. This is probably one of the most important things. Coal. Sacks of coal. Get as many of them as you can, because I don't think you will ever get a fuel that is as good as a sack of coal throughout the game regardless. Like, the timber is almost as good, but it's not as good. So, yeah. Anyway. Skylar, let's go in. You and gnomes charge into the room with the water flooding in from behind. You have time to grab 2 items. The problem with tinned lemons is that they don't, as far as I remember, they do not give you any, like, food rations. It's basically just something to cure you of scurvy, and that's it. This one is important because it reduces the amount of scientists that you need to have to make medical comforts, which later down the line will be really important. So let's take that. I wonder if I should take the tinned lemons. I'm not sure if they go bad or not. They might go bad. But I don't remember. And I'm not sure if this research option gets, like, destroyed, or if it's... I don't think that's the case. Anyway, let's pick that. He's freezing. Paulson Tucker. Me and Tucker charge into the room with the water flooding in from behind. You have time to grab 2 items. Yes. We have 2 sacks of coal. Or increases anyone that is like chilled or frosted, increases the amount of people that has that affliction by 1. So it cures 1 more when raising the heat. It's slightly weirdly explained in the tooltip because it uses the symbols within the sentence. Yeah, both of these. It's now freezing. We leave. So now I have actually gone through every single room which means I should, because this pumps floodwater from all rooms in the lower deck. And all 5 rooms have now been opened, so it's going to pump out water from all 5 of them instead of 3 or 4 as it was before. But that requires 5 people. 5. Okay, I'm going to have to wait a little bit on that. Maybe call the crew for dinner. The med bay. Now I can't actually do these because they are just freezing. But yeah, this is also something to, and I think I've said this before, the med bay and the photographer for the interviews to remove demoralized is like has a very limited space. Like the amount of people it can cure is very small. It's like 1 or 2 and that's it. So if you have 3 people who needs to go to the doctor, well, guess what? 1 of them are going to have to wait till the next week. And that week you probably got 3 that needs to go to the doctor, so all of a sudden you have 4. That's why using the medical comforts to instantly cure all crew in the med bay is so important, especially later on. Now it's whatever, but later on it's going to be used more and more and more and more. Feed the furnace. Yeah, let's put 2 of these in just to bring it up a bit, just in case. But you don't want to overfill it. It's very important not to overfill it, because anything that goes beyond 100 are just wasted resources. So don't overfill. through. Yeah, let's do 2 of you. The freezing is healed. That's also a thing you can do, because you don't really want people to have that affliction, because letting them keep it can make it evolve into a frostbite, which they have to go to the doctor, which is annoying, which takes up space in the doctor space. And yeah. Always try to fix when it's malnutrition. Always try to fix when it's freezing before it advances to the next stage. Because the second stage is the most annoying one. The one that is actually difficult to fix. Yeah, as you can see, tinned lemons, as I thought, they do not give any food ration. Nothing. It's just pure scurvy, and that's it. I think you need to use 1 per person, but I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure about that. Anyway... does that bring it up? That's above 50. Good. That should be enough. What was that spice crate? What does it do? Oh, once per week, feed the hoosh to gain 3 food for each person with malnutrition, malnourished or scurvy. Right, so if you have someone who's malnourished, when you feed the hoosh, you you actually gain more food for the food that you put in. Right, so if I had someone who was malnourished, if I had 1 person that was malnourished, I would get I would end up with 55 food out of 100 instead of 52. And if I had 1 more, it would be 58, so on and so forth. Okay. Right. Right. Now, 50 should be enough. Now, how is... I have 2 people... Well, I have 3 people. That is... available. Spoiled rations are not good, but it's better than nothing. So stocking up on this might not actually be good food, but it's better than nothing. And the spoiled rations can be used for fuel in an emergency. So yeah, I don't have enough dogs, so I can't go hunting. Yeah, let's do it. might have messed up. And don't think I did. To allocate people towards like something. Whatever. Let's call the crew for dinner. They have their meal. Grimly and Junior. And I swear, when that hook came swinging, Captain Hunt had to pull me down. This was 5, 6 years ago. I had no clue what I was doing. Both of us nearly lost an eye that day. Same expedition, Ward lost his arm. Half the time I don't think Hunt knew what he was doing, either. This is actually kind of funny because they are loyal to him, but at the same time they are like, was he actually that good? It's a valid question, but makes it a bit silly to that they're still as loyal as they are towards him, given the circumstances. Anyway, I'm sure he did. He seemed a good captain. Hard to say. He was quite an interesting man, that's for sure. Well, you have a new captain now. I'll steer you right. No, he was quite an interesting man. Hey, he is. Did you need something? I heard stories about Hunt, and I was curious. I'd like to know more about the man. Just checking in on my crew. I wanted to commend you both for keeping spirits high. The middle one is a no-go. I heard stories about Hunt, and I was curious. I'd like to know more about the man. I wonder. Or I wanted to commend you both for keeping spirits high. Option 1 or option 3? Option 2 is not really an option in my eyes, but let's go with this one. Well, it's still business as usual. I can still cook up a good meal. Nothing has changed there. Worried about the vote, aren't ye? Or is that it? Sure. What would I be worried the vote passed? I am the captain. Curious why you voted the way you did. Don't care about that. I generally am checking in No, let's ask. They brought it up, so let's poke a bit. You mean why we voted for Captain Hunt? To be obvious, he's our captain. Alright, let's leave it at that, Grimly. Nice of you to check in, sure, but I think it's time the crew called it a night. ... Grimly walks off. Is there an issue I'm not aware of? He should learn to show some respect. I am his captain. His crew was awfully fond of a hunt. Is there an issue I'm not aware of? A word to the wise, Robin. I have nothing against you, but we sure don't know you either. It's going to take more than simple pleasantries to earn Grimly's trust. True. Speak to Grimly. Mr. Water. Got used to playing on a rocking ship. Start to feel sick when I'm off too long. First person I met to suffer land sickness. You'll get used to it. Get used to this too, I assure you. I miss it myself, that sense of constant movement. Nothing else like it. Sure, let's go with that. Hey, you get it. Don't like stillness. I like feeling like I'm going somewhere. He stares at you before nodding to his hammock. Right. You ever have pancakes, sure? Served some for Captain Hunt once, and he started demanding them every time. You can only have them early into a trip, though. Ingredients don't keep that long. You're making me hungry. I'm sure you can make something similar with what we have. No, this one. Now that is a challenge. Don't know how that will turn out for us, sure. Or whatever the way he worded it. But he liked the compliment and the imaginary, like, challenge it would be if he tried. When you play this the second time, it's all probably going to be a bit easier, because at that point you started to understand sort of, even if you come to parts of the game you have never played before, because you failed before that, before getting there, you will have an easier time understanding what you need, sort of what option you need to pick to gain, like, to be liked by that person that you're talking to, because you sort of know what kind of person they are. And sometimes when you're in a meeting or there's a group of people, you're always going to have an option where, like, any of the three options is going to be a positive for someone and a negative for someone else. So what do you have in your pocket? Does it matter to you? Hunched over, clutching something. It's suspicious. I'm holding an egg. An egg? Why? Keep my hands warm. Boiled egg keeps heat. True. That is actually rather ingenious. We know the cold, better than you lot anyway. Yeah, eggs. Like, whenever you have, like, boiled eggs or cooked eggs in some way, and you have the shell on, why do you need to keep it under running water for, like, ages to make them cool off? It's because they retain the heat super well. So, yeah, I understand that is 100% true. Still no signs of change, I take it. Afraid not, Templeton. The ice is yet to budge. Moving the ice looks more and more to be a necessity as I see it. You may just be right, chum. Your team of scouts best be keeping their focus. If we cannot find a way from this pack, to notice you. Ah, Captain. I wouldn't worry about the ice. My team will find a path, I have no doubt. Bum, 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 bum. Stay best. At ease. Ah, at ease. You're doing good work. Thank you, Captain. I promise my team won't grow lazy. This is certainly not the place for it. I haven't spoken to Cadell. The building next to my kennels would often play music on a phonograph. I would hear it through the open window for months on end. I would hear it as I worked. Over time, I had grown used to it. You miss it? To an extent. More so, I miss the routine. Right. I honestly do not think I have missed anything. Oh, Hammond. I missed Hammond. One of Templeton's team tried to talk to me while I was working. They were going on and on about the spouse or something. Ended up telling them to fuck off. I think they got the message. You could have been somewhat more diplomatic. Yeah, he could, but he wouldn't. You have full permission to do so anytime your work is interrupted. Come now, Hammond. Are you married yourself? Could have been somewhat more diplomatic. Yes, he could have been, but he wouldn't be even. He knows how to be it, but he just chooses not to. So, you have full permission to do so anytime your work is interrupted. You didn't need permission, but hey, I knew you'd understand. So yeah, if we want to abandon the ship and move out onto the ice, we can click on abandon ship. I don't want to do that just yet because the ship is good to be on still. Now, I don't think we have more mouths to feed. Yeah, I have 25 people, and normal ration is 2 rations per person, which means it's 50 food rations that would be used for a normal rationing. And I could probably still get away with a half ration of fuel. Yeah. Let's do this. Exactly. And I can't do this. I can't do a half ration. I would actually want to do that, but I can't do that. And I can still do a half ration of fuel, which will eat into my decorum a bit, but just checking a bit. Saving food would be good, but I don't think it's good at this stage of the game to get malnourished. I really need to keep people healthy so I can use them for tasks. So food ration normal, fuel ration half, confirm. Right. Mr. Gloss has raised his spirits by speaking to Kasha, so he's no longer demoralized, but Mr. Zack is demoralized, which meant that we lost 5 decorum. Start next week. Week 7. And it's now colder. It's minus 17. Anyway, we are going to round off this episode here. I have pretty much decided that as long as a week is going to be how long an episode minimum is. Unless we have a bunch of cutscenes and stuff, I might do a break. But for the most part, I think I'm going to say that one episode is 1 week. And the game, I think we need to if I remember correctly, we need to survive like 36 weeks on the ice to like get to the part of the game that rounds off and finishes it. Anyway, with that decided and such, I'm just going to say that it would be super awesome and nice if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, or if you have something to comment, leave a comment down below and I will see it when it happens. And of course, that is entirely up to you and if you want to do that, but it would be super awesome and nice if you did. So with that, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.